Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So we're just going to do another video on the 4 Series decal fitment. And we're going to do it from the beginning. So with regards cleaning it, fitting it, lining it up and everything else, just to give you guys a better idea and understanding on how these decals are fitted in comparison to the eBay ones, which obviously don't fit in the same way. So as you can see here, Isaac is prepping the surface, so he's cleaning it up. So he's got a soft side of a pad, just getting the dirt off there. And Isaac, if you just turn that pad over and show us the scouring side. So we've also got a scouring side as well, which is very similar to like a kitchen scourer. And we just very lightly go over the paint where the decal's going to be, just to give it a little bit of a scuff, ready for the decal to adhere to the paint. Obviously don't go too far with it. Otherwise you're going to start really scratching into your paint. It won't be recoverable through polish if you ever want to remove the decals. So I'm just going to be quiet now. I'm just going to let Isaac do his thing, and then I'll come back to you when we're fitting the decal. As you can see under here, there's damage to the side sill and here as well. So there's only so much your vinyl will cover, and I think particularly on this area here, which is damaged on the car, you will see elements of this coming through on the vinyl. But only if you're close. And don't forget, this is going to be literally in between the side extension and the side decal itself. So the chances of actually seeing this, unless you're quite low down and you're physically looking for it, are quite slim. So it will cover that quite well. So again, I'll leave you to just watch Isaac prep this area. Okay, so Isaac's just wiped off the soap and everything that he's just had from the scouring pad, and now we're just going to put some tar and glue on it just to be doubly sure that we've got everything. So we're just going to spray that across the surface. So we've left the tar and glue remover to work, and now you can see Isaac's just going over with the scourer one more time just to get the rest of the tar off, ready for the decal. So what you'll see Isaac do now when he's finished with the scourer is he'll just run his fingers across the paint, just feeling for any just raises or bumps, which will identify any more areas of tar which he needs to address. It's always good to do this because the end result is so much cleaner. So as he's running his fingers down, you can see he's just feeling for any bits of tar that might be left over. And then just taking it off as and when he finds it. So yeah guys, there's no secret. Preparation is always key to getting the best outcome, so just give this a little bit of your time. I know you're probably in a rush to get the decal on and get the car looking good, but this is a major part of fitting the decal, if not the most important part. So just take your time and just prep it properly. So what Isaac's going to do now is just going to wipe the surface, just get rid of all the tar and glue and all the rubbish that has just been put on there. Once he's got it to like a dry finish, what you're going to need to do then, before you even attempt to fit the decal, is you need to alcohol the entire area, which obviously gets rid of any polish on there, which would prevent the decal from adhering. And again, just make sure you get right underneath as well and dry that area. And don't forget to change the microfiber cloth, or whatever cloth you're using, before you alcohol. It needs to be a fresh cloth. So this is 99% alcohol that we use, which is quite a strong alcohol. And it just gives us the peace of mind that the product's doing its job. So just thoroughly wipe over and just make sure all areas are covered, and then you are ready to fit the decal. So if you see the area at the back here that Isaac's wiping, he's also wiping the large area as well. And the reason being is because that is where your template for your decal is going to be. So what you don't want is obviously water or, you know, crap on there, because you need the template to hold whilst you line the decal. And straight away, starting from the back, peel away, and you need to place the decal to the very top of the side sill, just here. So as you can see, just hold on a second, Isaac, as you can see here, the decal is shaped to the actual shape of the side sill, or should I say the template is, and that's there purely to make sure that this area is positioned exactly where it needs to be, and that is the exact same process that you will get with the OEM decals that you buy as well. But the difference is that our decals have got 3M air lease technology, whereas OEM does not. So you see Isaac's now just peeling the backing off, running all the way down to the front, and he's going to maintain the template line on the top of the side sill there. Now you will need to do some adjustments on this, but just get that adhered down just so that it doesn't come off. You don't need it dropping on the floor. We'll come back to the back. 1 second, Isaac. So as you can see now, there's like a little ripple in the decal there. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. You need to get rid of that. Now if you don't get rid of that, the M Performance logo is not going to be sitting flush onto the side sill itself, so it won't be straight. So Isaac, if you can just get rid of that, all you need to do is just lift up and reposition, and by doing that the decal is nice and straight now. So what Isaac's going to do now is going to make sure that the logo is straight on the line. Can you see where the line is there? So that is dead straight on the line. But that could do with lifting up a little bit because it's right on the line. So what Isaac's going to do now is going to lift this template just a little bit higher up on the side sill. So as you can see there, it's just sat a little bit higher up on the side sill now. And again, you do need to do this with OEM decals as well sometimes. So he's got plenty of adhesion here now on this part. He's now going to go at the front. And he's going to do the same down here at the front. Just lift it that little bit above. So he's going to lift the entire decal off. As you can see, the decal's off completely. He's going to lift it a little bit above the sill line. And then we're going to come back. We've got a nice straight decal. And we're going to try again with the M Performance logo. And as you can see, it's straight on the line where it needs to be. And this is the line of the side sill, just here. So as you can see, when you run your finger over it, that's the line where you need to be there. Okay, so the next thing that Isaac's going to do now, just with his hands, he's just going to rub his hands all the way down the decal, just making sure that we've got no creases. And he's only going to go as far as he can, because as you can see, this part here is now, it's going to start stretching. So we'll show you how to get rid of that stretch in a minute, but just keep working down the decal. As you can see, it's now starting to just bunch up a little bit. So at this point now, Isaac's just going to release that pressure. I don't know if you saw it release there. And he's just going to run his hand down into the crease of the side sill and to the front. He's just going to leave the front there until we're ready to deal with that. So come all the way back to the back again. So as you can see, Isaac's now got the adhesion there and the decal's position where it needs to be. It's now it's time to tear the template off, which will have automatically lined your decal where it needs to be. So that is your decal lined up on the template. So all that needs to be done now, I'm going to be quiet, is just run over it with your hands, just get it down, and then squeegee. And then after squeegee, we're going to apply heat to activate the adhesive on the vinyl itself. So I'm going to leave you to enjoy this bit, and I'll come back to you when we're dealing with the front of the decal. Okay, so quickly coming back to you on this one. So where Isaac is now on this part of the decal at the front, just in this part here, you must make sure that that is flat into this groove here. So really press the vinyl into there. Now if you don't do this, the chances are this is the area where the vinyl could lift. So you need to avoid this and just put plenty of pressure down the vinyl into this crease here on the side sill. And then once you've done that and you're quite confident that you've got plenty of the vinyl down, you can work your way upward, which is what Isaac's going to do now, is just work up and get the vinyl seated further up. Okay, so now the top's been done, Isaac's going to come back to the back of the car and he's going to start using the squeegee, and he's going to continue to work on this upper edge of the side sill for now, just making sure that all the air is pushed upwards, from that line. So you can see how he's working from the line and he's pushing upwards with the squeegee. You can see he's overlapping. Everywhere where he's been so far, he's overlapping so that he knows that he's not missing any areas of the decal. Because the next phase of doing this is to remove the backing paper, which will expose the actual decal itself. Okay, so that's as far as you can go now with the top part. You've done your squeegee. There's nothing you can do now with this backing paper on. So now Isaac's going to remove the backing paper. Just before he does, so you can see how the vinyl is still loose at the bottom here. Never try and remove this backing paper after folding it underneath, for obvious reasons, because you're just going to tear the vinyl. Sorry, you're not going to tear the vinyl, you're going to tear the backing paper. It's going to be a nightmare to get it off in one go. So it's much easier to just take the backing paper off now as the vinyl is straight before folding it under, and then you can fold it under afterwards. So Isaac, if you want to take that backing paper off now. And as he's doing it, you see that he's pulling down on the backing paper, so he's pulling downwards. So he's pulling against the area that he's just worked on. All the way off. So now coming back to the back of the decal. So Isaac is now going to start folding the decal underneath, but what he's going to do is going to start doing it from the line. So what you don't want is for any kind of air which is trapped in between this line here and the underneath to get trapped. So he's going to work from the line. I'll come down this side and he's going to go down. So as you can see, he's working from that line. And he's only going maybe a quarter way down just to make sure that he's got all the air from underneath the crease line there. So when you're doing this, always work from that crease line down. And what you'll find, if you can see all the loose parts of the vinyl, which Isaac's leaving behind, they will all sit down really nicely after you've gone over this line here. As you can see, he's now just working towards the front. And it's the front area here which is a problem. And we'll go through that with you. So Isaac's just going to stop there for now. And if you can just see on this part here, there's a couple of little air bubbles just here, which Isaac's going to get rid of now. If you can see if it's focusing in onto that. So basically just get your squeegee and just run over this area again, which will take those air bubbles out. to the rear of the car, and we're going to start going through it again. So you can see, always double check down the vinyl before you start folding it all the way under. So you can see a couple of little bits here which have bubbled up. It's really hard to see, I'm trying to focus the camera for you. So there's one bit here and one bit there, if you can see that on the camera. So again, Isaac's just going to go over those and just make sure that they are nice and flat. Because this is 3M airlace vinyl, it's very easy to get the bubbles out without having to relift the vinyl. So now Isaac sorted that out, we're going to go back to the rear of the car and we're going to start to really work the vinyl now. You can see on the camera here, and I'm going to get Isaac to come around here as well to have a look on the camera as well. So as you can, I don't know if you remember from the beginning that there was some damage on the car. So if Isaac just runs over this bit here with the squeegee and starts to really push the vinyl underneath, you'll see that it's probably going to be really difficult to get rid of this area. And that will also become more prevalent with the heat gun as well, which we'll show you later on. So if you want to just go back over that area there. Now you can see this line here. This is the damage on the car. Vinyl will contour no matter what, and you're never going to get rid of this. So fingers crossed when the side extensions go back on, this will cover this a little bit more. But it's really good for the video actually to have a car which has got this damage on. Obviously it's not good to have the damage, but it's good to see how you deal with this and how vinyl can cover it to a certain degree. So just for the rest of the video now, Isaac's just going to go over and he's going to start folding this decal underneath the car, and then we'll start applying heat. So as you can see here at the front, it's all distorted. Now just wait and be patient with this one until you're ready for heat. Just leave this area and just concentrate on the rear and obviously the centre as well. Because this area here is going to need heat in order to get the vinyl to contour due to the way that the side sill is distorting it. So we'll come back to that in 2 minutes. We're now going to start applying the heat in order to activate the adhesive on the vinyl. Don't just lay the vinyl and then walk away. You've got to use heat in order to activate the adhesive that's behind the vinyl. So Isaac's going to start the heat gun now. It might be a little bit difficult for you to hear me over the heat gun because it's quite loud, but I will try, just commentate where I need to. So again, just starting from the rear, we'll get the heat gun going. So our heat gun is on 300 degrees, and we'll leave it on that. Try not to go any higher with that. And then just work the areas. And what the heat will do, it will crease the vinyl in areas where you haven't laid it properly. So obviously just go over it with the squeegee and then it will push it down. You can see as Isaac applies the heat, he's going over those areas where he's applied it with the squeegee and just making sure it's all flat down to the side sill. So with this process, it doesn't really matter whether you start at the bottom, start at the top, as long as you're covering all the areas. There's no exact way of doing it. Whichever you feel comfortable with is fine, as long as you're just covering all the areas with the heat. Okay, so now we're gonna tackle the front bit now. So it can be quite challenging in this little bit now. So what we tend to do, I'm gonna let Isaac do it. I do it my way, and obviously Isaac does it his way. But the main thing is getting this big bubble out of here. So I'm gonna leave Isaac to do it his way, and we're gonna show that on the video. Like I say, it doesn't really matter whether you do it my way or whether you do it Isaac's way. It is a particular process that you need to do in order to get that to lay down properly. So I'm going to be quiet now. I'm just going to let Isaac do his thing and show you how to get this flat down. Okay, so what Isaac's going to do now is going to make a cut. So as you can see here, we design our decals just to sit a little bit longer than what the OEM ones do. OEM ones will come exactly to here, so you don't have much to play with, whereas we bring ours a little bit further out. So Isaac's just going to make the cut on the decal now, obviously to shorten this down to round about there, and then he's going to start making another cut which will allow him to fold the decal into place. So I'll let Isaac do his thing again. Now, it doesn't need to be the straightest of lines because you're going to be folding that behind, so don't worry too much about that. So the second cut that he's going to make is going to be a horizontal cut around about there, just on the crease line. And you're going to cut that all the way to the sill. So now you can see the two cuts. If I can get the camera to focus. So he's now going to fold the bottom part in first. Don't distort the vinyl too much. And then he's going to fold that top part around. So I'll let you do that, Isaac. Okay, and now Isaac's going to fold this other piece around. Just use a little bit of heat just to give it a little bit of sway. And then just gradually start folding it around until it's straight. Give it a bit more heat to make sure it's down. Okay, so as you can see here, it's down on this corner and into here, so it's going to obviously go around this corner here, but you still need to make another cut here in order to allow that to happen, because it's just going to start pulling here. So I might do that actually. So make the cut, get it to where you guys can see it. So make the cut here and go backwards. You see how it's now cut there? And then, Isaac, can you just put some heat in there for me, please? So now I'm just going to fold this round. Try and get you guys to see it. As you can see, I've folded that round. Don't worry about this bit yet, we'll deal with that in a second. Make sure that it's all folded round nicely. Now what I like to do, I like to finish this off nice and neat here, because as you can see it's still all raised up. So following the line of the car with your blade here, I cut down and around here. So at that point there, I make the cut, and then underneath, just gonna have to block the camera a second while I dig this out. So don't push on too hard with the blade, you don't want to damage your paint. And then I can just lift that nicely out of there. And can I have some more heat in there please, Isaac? You can see that little bit of vinyl there. We're going to fold that back round. And that will give you your straight edge that you need. So we're going to now put plenty of heat into this area. We're not going to burn the decal, but we're going to put a heck of a lot of heat in here, because obviously you can see from the tyre that's where a lot of the road rash is going to go, so we need a lot of heat into there. So I'm going to do that. Plenty of heat in there, press it down, and then we've got our corner, the decal, all done nicely. So Isaac's just going to go over it one more time with the heat, just make sure he's got everything. Sorry about the focus on the camera. Make sure that he's got everything, and that is this side of the decal done. Done. All the heat is into it, and that is the finished product right there. So it really is that simple. So if you're fitting these at home, Just make sure you've got adequate heat, you've got a sharp knife, and you've got a squeegee. And you'll be able to do this at home, no problem at all. And again, with this car, it has got damage here, and the vinyl has contoured into that. So you've got to be mindful, if you have got damage on your side sill, that is going to happen, but with the vinyl being black, it is covering it quite well. So thanks for watching. We are going to be bringing more videos to you on different products like spoilers and diffusers and splitters. So like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.